Coach, your first time in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
What are you expecting from the environment here?
Well, if this is where Rose comes from, then I like this place. I can totally see, having attended the Reds game last night, one, why Rose speaks so fondly about the place, but without seeing much of the area, I've seen obviously the town all briefly, the baseball game yesterday and here today, but everybody tells me it's such a great turnout and that we have a really engaged crowd and it's going to feel electric tomorrow, so I'm excited for that.
Speaking about Rose, having her back from the ankle injury, a goal and assist, how much does she help your offense?
I mean, Rose is a world-class football player. I've said it so many times. When I came into this job, she was probably the one player I was really looking forward to working with. I think the structure in the team has allowed her game to elevate another level. And what we saw the other night was how much we've missed her, even in the few months she's been out. But I have to, again, proceed with a bit of caution because she's just coming back. So it's a really tight turnaround and I'm going to have to manage things properly tomorrow for her, but we're delighted to have her back.
What are you looking for out of your team, in these friendly matches?
Progress, always, with that. And when you play the same opponent twice in 4 days, is how quickly you can learn, not just about yourself, but when an opponent makes adaptations, how are you going to look to exploit that? So details, looking for those things, particularly with the fact that I'm going to be making changes tomorrow.
Yeah, looking at the development of this squad, obviously you've talked about how some of the players might not be in the immediate plans for major tournaments.
Yeah.
But obviously the youth teams are important there.
Yeah.
What do those players benefit from coming into the senior camp early, from going back to the youth team and coming back later on?
Well, they probably benefit in a number of ways. The first is, well, that's the level, and you get a sense of that. Two, aspirationally, I want them to want to remain here, but in order to remain here, there's things you have to keep developing. And it's not always about just developing players for the US Women's National Team, it's developing players to play at the highest level. And if we can help improve in the opposite direction with that, then we want to do that too. But there is no straight line to success. Look at Alyssa Thompson. Player came in as a young player, then out of the seniors, then back in. We want a more intentional and deliberate approach so that they get opportunities, but they are developed at the most appropriate level at the most appropriate time. So, myriad of things.
Yeah, you brought up Alyssa Thompson. Obviously, like you said, came in early, just early in the end of yourself. Started off hot, struggled a little bit, came back and obviously producing really well now. What have you seen from her growth and obviously getting her second goal yesterday?
You know what? It's just tremendous growth from her. And I've said this before. This is all on Alyssa. The work Alyssa has done to take responsibility for herself, not just to put certain things in place, but to make the progress she is. She's invested in all the right things, and I think she's been doing a great job, and her club have been doing a great job with her. And she's just 20. I can't believe she's 20, to be honest with you, but I think she's made a huge amount of progress in less than 9 months, and I think it's just the beginning for Alyssa. I think there's a lot more to come from her.
Good. I'll go one more.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Emma, on that, any particular player, that young player that has stand out to you in terms of leadership, not a lot of the performance, but how mature she has been at this
level? All of them. They're growing each camp. I think Ali Sentner, Claire Hutton. They've got such a great senior group around them that's helping them develop, and their voices are growing in our sessions, both in the classroom and on the field. But they can only do those things because of the quality of the senior players, and they don't get enough of a shout out from me. Like, our seniors are awesome at developing leaders, alongside supporting the coaching team to be able to deliver things. And I love that intensity to them. If I think of players like Emily Sonnet, like, she's intense, and I love that about her. Every moment matters to her, and she's always thinking, she's always switched on, she's always imparting information. The same with Lynn Williams, who, sorry Lynn, I didn't mean to take you back to your premarital days, but Lynn too, when she comes into a game, she's such a leader to the front players in general. So I think this big shout out to them.
You spoke earlier about the way Rose speaks of Cincinnati.
Sorry, someone's calling to play Roblox with Harry. It's just not appropriate. I don't have the iPad with me, but I don't think I'll answer that.
Yeah, the way she talks about Cincinnati, kind of what does she say about the city?
Rose.
Yeah, Rose. You might have to get off.
It's all right, don't worry. Harry's at the museums. I think for Rose from a big family, so I think they're going to fill up the stadium. But Rose, she always talks about the impact on the city. And Harry and I asked her this morning, is Rosie Red, the mascot from the Reds, is it based on her? She of course said no, but Harry and I think it is. No, she speaks so fondly. She's been this has been a goal for her, being injured, coming home. That she really wanted to be back in her hometown, and she's always about giving back to her community within that. She's got a really nice surprise for the fans today, but I'm not going to mention it. But that's Rose. She wants to give back to her city, and she's got some cool things lined up to show that.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.